On a foggy spring morning in 1875, a mysterious shipment arrived at the bustling docks of New York Harbor. The massive crates, wrapped in heavy canvas, were the talk of the port. Rumors swirled among dock workers and citizens alike. What could this enormous cargo contain? As curiosity grew, little did anyone know that this shipment would soon transform into a symbol recognized worldwide, a beacon of hope and freedom standing tall on Liberty Island. This is the story of how the Statue of Liberty came to be. A remarkable gift from France to America, wrapped in politics, friendship, and the dreams of two nations. The idea of a monumental statue symbolizing liberty was born in the mind of a Frenchman named Édouard René de La Boulaye, a historian and abolitionist deeply inspired by the American ideals of freedom and democracy. In the years following the American Civil War, La Boulaye saw the United States as a shining example of Republican values where liberty triumphed over tyranny. To celebrate the centennial of American independence, he envisioned a grand gift, a colossal statue that would embody liberty and serve as a reminder of the enduring friendship between France and America. La Boulaye shared his vision with the young French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, whose passion for grand projects matched the ambitious nature of the plan. Bartholdi was captivated by the challenge. He imagined a towering figure of a woman holding a torch, her raised arm welcoming immigrants arriving on America's shores. This vision quickly evolved into what would become one of the most iconic statues in the world, a colossal personification of liberty itself. But the journey to create this statue was anything but straightforward. France faced financial challenges, political unrest, and logistical obstacles that threatened to halt the project. Fundraising efforts were launched on both sides of the Atlantic, with citizens, artists, and politicians joining hands to bring this dream to life. French citizens contributed through lotteries, theatrical events, and public donations, while Americans pledged to build the statue's pedestal in New York Harbor. The statue itself would be constructed in France, then disassembled, shipped, and reassembled on American soil. Bartholdi began by designing the statue's figure, initially crafting a small model in his workshop. He drew inspiration from classical representations of liberty, blending them with modern symbolism. The statue would wear a crown with 7 rays symbolizing the 7 seas and continents, and her torch would represent enlightenment, lighting the path to freedom. She would hold a tablet inscribed with the date of American independence, July 4, 1776, a tribute to the nation's birth. As the design took shape, the engineering challenges grew. The statue would stand over 150 feet tall, far larger than anything attempted before. To support the immense weight of copper sheets covering an iron framework, Bartholdi collaborated with Gustave Eiffel, the same engineer who would later design the famous Eiffel Tower. Eiffel's innovative iron framework would allow the statue to withstand strong winds and weather while maintaining its graceful form. Years of meticulous work followed. Craftsmen hammered copper sheets into thin plates, shaping them to fit the contours of the statue. Iron beams were forged and assembled inside the figure, creating a sturdy skeleton. Each part was carefully numbered to ensure it could be reassembled correctly once shipped to America. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the American people grappled with their own challenges. The country was still healing from the Civil War and dealing with rapid industrial growth and immigration. The promise of liberty represented by the statue resonated deeply, particularly for the waves of immigrants arriving at Ellis Island, seeking a new life. For them, the statue became a powerful symbol, a welcoming figure that signaled freedom and opportunity after years of hardship. The statue was officially named Liberty Enlightening the World. Its unveiling was eagerly anticipated. Yet the project faced setbacks. The pedestal funding lagged behind, causing delays. Newspapers in both countries debated the statue's cost and significance. Some critics mocked the ambitious statue as an extravagant vanity project, while others feared the political implications of such a gift. Despite obstacles, the statue was completed in France by 1884. The massive figure was disassembled into 350 pieces and packed into crates for its transatlantic voyage. In 1885, the crates arrived in New York Harbor, greeted by crowds filled with excitement and wonder. Reassembling the statue on the newly constructed pedestal became a race against time. The pedestal itself was designed by American architect Richard Morris Hunt and constructed using granite blocks on Liberty Island, formerly known as Bedloe's Island. Skilled workers pieced together the statue's sections like a giant puzzle, hoisting heavy copper plates and iron frames into place. As the torch was raised high above the harbor, a symbol of hope took form. Finally, on October 28, 1886, the Statue of Liberty was unveiled in a grand ceremony attended by dignitaries, citizens, and representatives from both France and the United States. President Grover Cleveland declared the statue a gift of friendship and a symbol of freedom's enduring power. The statue quickly became a beloved landmark, its image immortalized on postcards, paintings, and photographs. It stood watch over New York Harbor, greeting millions of immigrants and visitors alike. The Statue of Liberty was more than a monument. It was a story told in copper and iron, a story of two nations united by ideals and friendship. Yet the statue's journey was far from over. Over time, it would face weathering, restoration efforts, and evolving interpretations. But its significance as a symbol of hope and liberty remains as powerful today as it was on that foggy morning when the crates first arrived at the docks. The story of the Statue of Liberty is a story of dreams, determination, and the unbreakable bond between France and America. The day the Statue of Liberty was unveiled on October 28, 1886, marked the beginning of its lasting legacy as a symbol of freedom and hope. Crowds gathered along New York Harbor, eyes fixed on the colossal figure that rose from Liberty Island. For millions of immigrants arriving at Ellis Island, the statue became a powerful emblem, a promise of new beginnings and a land where liberty reigned. But the statue's story did not end with its unveiling. Over time, it weathered harsh storms, pollution, and the passage of more than a century. The copper skin, though sturdy, showed signs of wear. The iron framework beneath struggled against rust and the harsh coastal climate. Preservation became essential to keep this symbol alive for future generations. During World War I and II, the statue stood as a silent sentinel, a beacon of democracy amidst the darkness of global conflict. Though the torch was sometimes dimmed for blackouts, the statue itself remained a steadfast symbol of the values soldiers fought to defend: liberty, justice, and human rights. By the mid-1900s, the statue required major restoration. In 1937, engineers began repairs to protect the iron skeleton and preserve the copper exterior. Then, on the statue's centennial in 1986, an extensive renovation took place. The original torch, damaged beyond repair, was replaced with a new gilded torch that gleamed in the sunlight. Millions celebrated the restoration as a renewal of the statue's promise and power. Beyond its physical presence, the Statue of Liberty became a cultural icon embraced around the world. It appeared in art, literature, films, and countless photographs. Its image became synonymous with freedom and the immigrant experience. The words of Emma Lazarus etched on its pedestal: "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," elevated the statue to a universal symbol of refuge and hope. The gift from France reflected a deep friendship between two republics that valued democracy and liberty. It was a reminder that freedom requires constant effort and vigilance. The statue also represented a complex history of immigration struggles, political change, and evolving ideals. Today, the Statue of Liberty continues to inspire. It watches over New York Harbor, welcoming visitors from around the globe. Educational programs and museums nearby teach its history and significance. Modern technology helps preserve its structure, ensuring the statue remains a shining beacon for generations to come. Standing tall through the centuries, the Statue of Liberty is far more than copper and iron. It is a symbol of human creativity, cooperation, and the unyielding quest for freedom. From a French vision to an American icon, it embodies the spirit of two nations united by hope, a gift that continues to enlighten the world.